Hey everybody, in this video I'll be looking at running an evil campaign. If you've been playing Dungeons & Dragons for a while, it's probably come up. Someone in the group, or maybe even you, have thought, what happens if we play the bad guys? What if we're evil? What if we're not constrained by the laws of the land? And it can be a lot of fun. And I've got 6 tips for you if you're thinking about running an evil campaign. I think it's a good idea early on to give this video a little bit of a trigger warning. Now look, I'm not going to go into any kind of detail or graphic explanation of any kind of violence or sexual assault, but those things are going to come up a little bit in passing talking about this. If you don't want to watch a video about those things, then that's totally understandable. We've got a bunch of videos that I think you'll really like, and you can check some of those out. I'm not going to take it personally. The first thing that you should do with your group is set your limits early. Talk to your group. Talk to them about what this campaign is going to be. What are the goals? Why do you want to play an evil campaign? Now that's a good idea for any DM with any campaign, just to feel each other out. But especially with an evil campaign, it's very important. And have your players send you a list. Have them tell you and let you know the things that they just aren't comfortable with at all. An evil campaign can get very dark very quick, and you're probably going to be doing a lot of things. Your group and your story and your players are going to be doing a lot of things that normal good or even just sort of in it for themselves characters wouldn't be doing. But you should create a space early on, before the game even gets started, where all of your players are comfortable and they feel safe to tell you, look, this is a no-go subject for me. I can't do a campaign where incest gets involved, or I can't do a campaign where there's rape involved, especially if the players are a part of that, or if killing children comes up. I'm out. You need to create it so that your players feel comfortable you telling them those things. And you need to let them know that you will keep that out of the game. It won't come up from your end on the story, and that if it does come up in game, it's really your job as the GM to give that a hard stop. Say, no, we're not going to have this in the game. And this can be a conversation that you have as an entire group. Let the whole group know and just say, hey, these are the things that we're going to shy away from, just so that we all are aware. I suggest that. Now, maybe you want to keep all of those different things secret. I don't really see the benefit of doing that, but if you want to, just make sure that you're earning all of your players' trust and that you won't let those things come up. Setting those limits early and making them very, very clear is the first thing that you should be doing with your evil campaign. Next, for you as the DM and helping your players out, figure out, why are they doing evil things? I mean, your actions kind of define who you are, and the same is true with all of these characters. So what is it that they're doing that is evil, and why are they doing these different things? What are the tasks that are involved? Are they trying to steal something from a cleric? Are they trying to murder a paladin? Are they trying to find suitable sacrifices for their evil god? All of these different types of things are specific tasks. What that's going to help you do is, flesh out your story as a DM, first of all. That's also going to help keep this campaign of yours from just turning into Murder Hobo the campaign. What are they doing, and why are they doing it? And especially if all of your players can get on board with that, it's a really good way to create a unit, to create a sense of why everyone's together. And in fact, that's my number 3 tip. Why is this group working together? Now, this is something you can easily do during character creation or during a session 0. But if all of these people are so evil and so bad, well, why is it they're working together? This is a D&D campaign, after all. You've got a group of players that are all working together to accomplish something. If your campaign lasts for 2 or 3 sessions and then all of a sudden everyone is just screwing each other over because they're doing what's best for their character, it's not going to be much fun for you, for the player that's getting screwed over, or for any of your players. In fact, that idea, well, this is what my character would do, comes up a lot more often in evil campaigns, I've found, and it's one of the biggest reasons for evil campaigns just not being any fun and breaking up. So not only figuring out what are the things that these characters do that are evil, but why are they all working together? Now, if they want to bring back some long forgotten ancient god, and they have 12 different things they have to do in order to get the ritual ready, and they're doing it because they're all devout believers, and they've got an assassin, and they've got a dark cleric, and they've got an unholy paladin, well, that's awesome. Now you've got some evil characters doing some probably pretty evil things, and they all have a goal. You want to know those things early on. Just because your characters are evil and they're working towards an major evil plot doesn't mean that perhaps the whole world is an evil culture. And that brings me to tip number 4. There are still consequences. Now, it may be that you set your game in a society where things that we would consider evil aren't evil for them. Maybe there are blood sacrifices. Maybe everyone over the age of 35 is executed. Logan's Run. Or maybe there's all kinds of other options for you. And if you do that, it can be a lot of fun. But you have to ask yourself, well then, if all of those things are acceptable and the party is doing them, are they actually doing evil? What's much more likely is that you've got a group of evil characters that are in the world that is a world of law and order, and there are rules, and perhaps people genuinely are nice to each other, or good to each other, or they at least don't walk around killing everyone who looks at them funny. That means in your campaign, there's probably going to be a police force, or knights, or a town watch that's trying to investigate what it is that's going on. Or maybe there's an order of clerics and paladins that are trying to stop the sacrifices from happening, and then those are going to become the BGG, the big good guys, that your party has to fight against. Just because they're evil and it's an evil campaign doesn't mean that it's necessarily free from consequences. That's also just a great way to keep things from, again, becoming Murder Hobo the game. I mean, they might murder people a whole lot, but it feels more justifiably evil when they have a reason to go on these assassinations, just as an example. So make sure that there's still some consequences in your world. Now, just for you as the DM, have the end game in mind. What are they building towards? And what's going to happen when they finally accomplish it? I mean, if you get to the end of your evil campaign and they summon this horrible evil elder god, who says that the elder god is going to actually thank them? Maybe they all get wiped out, or maybe they get turned into abominations. Maybe they're elevated to demonic princes. I don't know, it's your story, and it sounds like a lot of fun. But have that in mind. And just as a tip, plan on your players trying to overthrow their masters. Whatever it is that you've been planning on, the person that's pulling the strings, whether that's a demon or a patron or whatever it is, the people or the person or the thing that your evil characters are serving, look, in my experience, about half of the time, the evil players decide that they want to become the master themselves and try to overthrow things. So when you plan for the end game, also plan what's going to happen if they try to do that. And the last tip that I have for you, number 6, there's only one way I can think to put it. Evil doesn't mean asshole. Look, just because the characters are evil and they do mean stuff and bad stuff, or they don't value life the same way other people do, or freedom, or free will, or choice, or whatever, it shouldn't give the players carte blanche to just be mean to each other, to just be jerks to each other, and to just be jerks to all of the NPCs or the world or you as the GM. It's very unfortunate, but again, with evil campaigns, I think sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the idea of playing an evil campaign is attractive to players that maybe aren't mature enough to really play it yet. And what they're looking for is an excuse to kill everything and steal everything and, you know what, everything. And at least for me, that's not a lot of fun. And it hasn't been fun for the other people I've played with when we've had someone that's all that they were trying to do. Evil isn't asshole. Alright folks, so those are my 6 tips for running an evil campaign. So have you played in an evil campaign before? Or have you done some of these things playing an evil character that's in an otherwise not evil campaign? I'd love to hear what you've done to make sure that the experience is fun and enjoyable for everyone around the table, the DM and the players included. I want to say a huge thank you for coming over and watching the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't follow us on Twitter, go find us there. It's where we get a lot of our stuff out and information and all those things. If you like what we do, then you can also check out patreon.com/roll4initiative. Maybe find a tier that works for you and be a part of our community that helps make more videos, better videos, and have more things to talk about. Especially with Patreon, I want to give a huge thanks to Joan and Sean, Arvi, Bryce, and Lainey. You guys are all really cool. So until next time, I'm Ryan, and this is Roll for Initiative. Bye! Mine is an evil laugh! Ah! Oh, that peaked. That peaked on the volume. Oops.